So today we're going to dive into this really radical and honestly beautiful idea from one of India's most celebrated poets. It's a vision that kind of flips a 1,000-year-old belief on its head and asks us to find paradise, not, somewhere else, but right here, right now. Okay, let's get into it. I mean, just think about that for a second. For most of human history, we've been told that heaven is this far-off destination, right? A reward you get after life is all said and done. But what if that whole time we've been looking in completely the wrong direction?
Well, that's exactly what the great 20th century Kannada poet Kuvempu was saying. His argument was that heaven isn't someplace you go to later. She believed it's tangible, it's present, and it's something every single one of us can experience, right here on Earth.
All right, so to really get what Kuvempu's talking about, we first have to break down that traditional idea of heaven that he was pushing back against. You know this story, right? It's pretty familiar. If you're good, you go to this wonderful place. If you're bad, well, you go somewhere else. It's this picture a lot of us get as kids, a heaven that you have to earn and one you only get to see after you die. And boom, right out of the gate, Kuvempu's poem hits us with this powerful, direct challenge. This isn't just a question, it's a statement. He's basically telling us to stop craning our necks, looking at the sky for a paradise we might never find, and to just open our eyes to what's all around us. For Kuvempu, the evidence, the proof of heaven on earth, wasn't hidden away in some ancient book. Nope, it was in the raw, undeniable, just overwhelming beauty and power of the natural world. He kicks things off with this image of just pure, untamed energy. And notice, he doesn't say a peaceful brook, he says a roaring stream. There's a force here, a wild, unstoppable life force. And this is the key, right? Divinity, for Kuvempu, isn't always about quiet and calm. It's also found in this incredible dynamic, constant motion. That stream rushing towards the sea, that's a symbol of life's powerful journey. And seeing that, well, that's a heavenly sight. Then he pulls us away from the stream and takes us to the ocean. Another image of massive power, but this one has a totally different rhythm. Just picture it, that endless cycle of waves building, crashing, and pulling back. And what's so cool here is the contrast. We've gone from the straight-ahead rush of the stream to this circular, rhythmic pulse of the surf. Both are powerful, both are gorgeous, and for the poet, both are absolutely undeniable proof that heaven is right here. But then, after all that wild power of water, Kuvempu totally shifts gears. He moves from the kind of force that carves out canyons to the gentle energy that actually helps things grow. And this just nails his point, doesn't it? Heaven isn't just one thing. It's the roaring stream and the tender sunshine. It's the crazy power that shapes the world and the quiet light that makes a garden burst with life. It's that combination of force and gentleness that makes Earth a paradise. But here's the thing. For Kuvempu, nature is only half the story. The other half, well, it's even more revolutionary. He says divinity isn't just something we see out there. It's something that lives inside us. This might be the most mind-blowing line in the entire poem. He is completely turning that traditional view upside down. He's suggesting that if things like goodness and love and creativity don't exist inside of us as humans, then the whole idea of some separate, distant God just doesn't make any sense. So you can really see the two ideas laid out here, side by side. The old way puts divinity way out there, something separate from us that we have to worship from afar. But Kuvempu's vision, it brings it right inside our own hearts. Divinity becomes our potential to be kind, to create, to love. We don't just worship gods, we actually have the potential to be gods through our actions. Okay, so if heaven is in nature and heaven is inside of us, how do we capture it? How do we share it? Well, Kuvempu has an answer for that too, and it all has to do with the special job of the artist. First, we gotta understand this key metaphor, nectar. In mythology, nectar, or amrit, is the drink of the gods, the stuff that makes you immortal. In the poem, Kuvempu uses it as a symbol for the pure, life-giving essence of all the beauty we see on Earth. And here's the poet's playbook, basically. Step 1, the poet drinks in, or imbibes, all that heavenly beauty around them, the streams, the sun, you name it. Step 2, they process it, transform that raw experience into art, like a poem or a song. And finally, step 3,
They share it, spilling out that song of nectar so that everyone else can get a taste of heaven on earth too. So, where does that leave us? What's the big takeaway here? Well, this isn't just a pretty poem. It's really an invitation to shift our entire perspective on life and where we find what's truly meaningful. And this idea was absolutely central to Kuvempu's whole philosophy, something called Vishwamanavattavada, which means universal humanism. It's a way of seeing the world that finds divine potential in every single person and celebrates how we're all connected. So this poem, it's not just poetry. It's the perfect expression of his belief that heaven is for everyone and it's right here.
So, in the end, Kuvempu kind of flips the challenge back on us. If heaven is all around us, in a roaring stream, in the warm sun on your face, in a simple act of kindness, in a beautiful song, then the only question left is, where are you going to find your piece of it today?